Dude. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you're sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. This beautiful man that you're seeing on your screen is the one, the only Tim McIntyre. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Morning, Chase. Good, mate. How you going?
Yeah, well, a little bit better now that we've solved our software problem. But brother, thanks for coming onto the podcast. I asked you about a week ago after I spoke to Vicky and Nick and Glenn in the last podcast to come on and tell your story. So for those that don't know you, and especially the ladies in the women's group, tell us a bit about yourself, age, where you live, what you do for work, that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm up North Queensland, up near Mackay, out in the mines at Moranbah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 49, got a family of 4 girls and a beautiful wife. And, yeah, we're here just trying to make the best of it. And I've been in your capable hands now for 6 months.
I love it. And for those of you that are aware very much of how much energy Tim brings, he's also with us for the next 12 months, which is super good as well. So I was reading back over your initial intake, Timbo, and your whys on getting started. And you initially said, my goal is just to be healthy. So back then, like, were you unhealthy 6 months ago? Like what?
It was just a case of frustration, Jace. I always believed that you should do something. So played sport most of my life and then hadn't played sport for a while, and just last August had a new hip replacement put in.
Mm-hmm.
So on recovery there, I kept thinking, can't wait to get back in the gym. So I did my 6-8 weeks. I got the tick of approval from the doc to get back into the gym and go steady. But I went back into the same program I was doing for like 5 or 6 years. I think I Googled something and it was like, if you're over 45, this is all you need for the rest of your life. And I thought, all right, I'll take that on board. And I just happened to see your Instagram or TikTok or one of your ads, and just a few key words really resonated with me around, are you over 45? Yep, tick. Do you want to change a new program? Yep. Do you want to loop all the things that I was just pondering with myself? And your ad was like, put in the word program and I'll send it to you. And I thought, oh, well, that sounds like a good deal. I'll try this.
Yep.
And then it just went from there.
So you were doing some stuff before. What do you think wasn't working about your approach prior to starting?
Oh, just my lack of knowledge around the food, and the lack of knowledge, thinking that I had to get to the gym 5 days a week to try and be successful with life, and just try and flog myself, and then get to the weekends and blow it, and then try and get to the grind. And just the biggest key takeaway at the moment for me is like your protein and how important it is. So back in those days, I would be killing myself trying to get to the gym 5 days a week so I could have 5 protein drinks after my gym session. And then that was it. So if I only went once, I would only have 1 protein shake for the week, thinking that the rule was you couldn't have it unless you went to the gym.
Right.
And it was like, I was just in a circle of not doing it correctly.
So that's a really good point that you raise. I think a lot of people think protein is for people that go to the gym, and it's not if you don't go to the gym.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
And the reality is, to all you ladies and gentlemen that are alive and watching this podcast, you are breaking down protein every day, whether you like it or not. And when you get to the ages of 35, 40 and beyond, you are losing 1 to 2% of your muscle mass per year. This is a well-known phenomenon called sarcopenia, and it's basically age-related muscle mass loss. You will continue to decay, unfortunately, unless you do something about it. And the only known way to actually do something about it is to lift weights, do some resistance training of some kind, and support that with increasing your protein so you're providing the building blocks of the actual muscle. Tim, I was looking over your results today, and we're about 6 to 7 kilos down. But how are you feeling strength-wise? Because I think that this is way more than weight for you.
Yeah. Strength is really, you go to the gym And for years there, I was not improving. I just thought, oh, well, this is it. I just stuck on the same plateau of weight and reps. And and now that I have got my nutrition right and protein really, yeah, who knew it actually does what it's supposed to say,
On
helps
the
you
box.
repair the muscle, helps you gain strength. And you can see week to week you're putting extra weight on certain weights where
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to do that in a long, long time. So it's really good, and I'm really enjoying it.
I was looking again through this morning and just how typical of a bloke you are. And that's why I love you so much. You just like spot in my hole, right? For like the type of bloke that I love working with. Main physical goals: lose the gut. And why is that
Yeah.
important to you? I want
Uh,
I want to get I want to get noticed in how I am for my wife, and compliments are nice. Um,
yeah.
you don't have to go into detail, Tim, about it, but one of the things you have said is like actually getting some kind of affirmation off your partner has been amazing.
Yeah, yeah. She's been a full supporter of it and really enjoyed the benefits, I guess. Yeah,
Mm.
she's really noticed it. And yeah, I guess people draw inspiration from certain corners of their lives. And yeah, if I walk past the missus and she gives me a second glance because she's noticed, well, that does it for me.
Oh, dude, you're a red-blooded man, and so I think women are the exact same, right? When you put on a dress and you feel great, and you get some acknowledgement either from peers or friends or family members, like it's a really, really good feeling. Tim,
Yep.
have you always been a guy that kind of just gets around people?
Yeah, I like to interact,
Mm,
definitely. Good networks around you. I guess, but draw back from the footy days when you're in a team environment.
mm,
Yep, you like family around you, and I guess it's the best outside of what you did growing up. Joining your group and the Facebook group you're in, it's the best sort of individual team sport you can sort of be a part of
mm.
because we're sort of a team doing the same thing, but everyone's on their individual journey, and then we just get around each other when you need it. It's
And I
great.
think that's what a lot of guys lack is that, and I'll be the first to put my hand up and say that's me. If I I'm coach, but I'm also part of the community. I feel very connected. But before we had Better Body Academy, I didn't feel connected. I was a 33, 34, 35-year-old guy that used to play footy and didn't have that connection anymore. And I felt like I was trying to grind by myself and just work and work and work. And what ends up happening is you kind of lose track of the essence of life. Like there's something about just being in the community of people that you resonate with that it actually makes it feels good. Like I
Yeah,
don't know how to really put it. And a lot of guys won't talk about this because it's too inverted commas like pussy or whatever. I really get
yeah,
a kick out of our relationship, for example, because there's connection, and to me, connection brings with it value. You go out of your way to actually connect with other blokes.
yeah.
So where does that come from? Is that just an upbringing, or is that a driver? Like I'd be surprised if you've missed a single coaching call over the course of the last 6 months.
Mate, I appreciate what you do. I see where you get a kick out of helping guys.
Mm,
You're not just a personal trainer. You're
mm,
actually trying to, and I guess the women would see that on their side, but I see guys sometimes struggling with their lives, and
mm.
they've jumped on board, and you've helped them out mentally, and I can see you get a kick out of that. I guess, yeah. Part of me, I like to just reach out and say to the guys, "How you going?" And sometimes it's reassurance for me when I'm talking to another guy, and um, you're on the same track, and yeah, it's just
Mm.
happy to help out and mix it in with. Yeah, I don't mind mixing it with all the lads. Yeah.
When you go back into your workplace, do you think Australia's got a culture of dismissing health or kind of knocking people down that want to look after themselves? You're a couple of months away from turning 50, right? And so like I'm wondering how your friend circle at work or beyond has perceived you. Tell us a bit when you went away with a few of your boys recently.
Yeah. I don't think they've knocked it down, but I think people just get in the different grind of life and are doing the wrong choices.
Mm,
If you can get your product out there best it can be,
mm,
that it would help all. Um, when I went back, yeah, there's some guys that do still look after themselves, and then there's some guys that are just in the grind of middle-aged men,
mm,
and probably not taking care of themselves. And it's only a few small little tweaks once you join your group.
mm.
For me anyway, because I still was trying to be active, and it was just around that food. It was around trying to, yeah, just get your process and enjoy it, and that's what I've liked.
What's the
So
part of the process that you, if any, that you struggle with the most?
struggled with the most. I don't think I've had too many struggles with it. Probably at the start trying to be perfect, and you quickly taught me that you can't be perfect, and that's the best thing. And then I've started relaxing on trying to master your process, and then I was getting more gains. So I wouldn't be down too much on myself if life got in the road and I only made it to the gym once for the week,
Mm.
because once is still better than none. And yeah, once you understand your process and the knowledge that the science behind it really works, putting it into play is easy, and the process works. So just got to enjoy it.
Man, this conversation and what you're saying is both amazing and fucking frustrating for me. It's super
You want
frustrating.
to get you want to
Yeah,
get it out
I
there.
want to
I
get the
know. I wish
no,
I could
I
help
want
you
to get the
too.
psychology around like why does a person who has like four girls, how old are your kids?
Yeah, they range from 30 down to 16.
Right. Right. Okay,
Mm.
so your kids are a little bit older than, right?
Yeah,
So how does a bloke that's a busy working man and a partner with four kids find the transition seamless, almost like, was it because you were struggling so long in other stuff and getting frustrated, and then when you given something simple you just was like, oh, okay, cool, this is easy to do? Or is it just, I know for a lot of people their journey is embedded in perhaps a lot of trauma, for example, and trying to move forward is so much harder. But I'm trying to think of you, um, almost like becoming a coach and people listening to you as a coach here, right? And it's like, he just he's not stressed out about it. He's not punishing himself anymore.
yeah,
Just simple. How can we encourage more people to adopt that approach?
yeah. I look, it helped me because I was already up and going to the gym. Some do have that gym fear that
Yeah.
it's you've got to get that into your routine. But you taught us where once a week to start off with would be fine.
Yeah.
You
So the
know?
concept of progressive overload, guys and girls, it says that you need to break the word down, progressively overload, not fucking throw the baby out with the bathwater on day one and go to the gym 6 times a week. If
Yeah, exactly.
you haven't trained in 20 years,
Yeah.
once a week is ample amount for you.
Yep.
Now, you might have a medium term goal to get into the gym 3 to 4 days a week, and that's cool. You might have a goal to get 10,000 steps a day, and that's cool. You might have a goal to track every day with your nutrition, and that's cool. But you
Yep.
can't go from zero to hero in like a few days. And what ends up happening is you just overwhelm yourself. So I
Yep.
think part of the transformation, if we want to do this in an emotionally mature way, guys and girls, we have to be forgiving when we fuck it up, and we will fuck it up. And that's
Yeah.
the goal. Let's set the expectation that actually I will fuck it up. How am I going to respond when that happens?
Yep.
Um, Talk to me about the impact, if any, Tim, without bullshitting. Like, has it had on your family and kind of your outlook towards the next 10 years? Like, are you starting to rethink maybe what you can do? Are you sort of got any gross big goals that you've been thinking about?
I probably don't go that too far in life. Just try and face day to day. But yeah, look, all my daughters have noticed my transformation, if that's what you call it. I've got two girls that really love the gym, and
Mm.
the other two, one's a mum, and she's trying to get herself back into shape after having two kids.
Wow.
And my 16-year-old is just starting to come to me and say, Dad, I want to come to the gym with you, blah, blah, blah. So I haven't had those conversations really with them, but I'm just wondering if they've just noticed what I've doing, and then and without me looking, they're looking at me.
Dude, that's
But
so
yeah,
powerful, right? Because
yeah,
and I'm guilty of doing the same thing. Hey, kids, don't do that. We're going to do that, and we talk, but with you demonstrating it through your actions, it's like the ultimate form of follow me. How
yeah,
good? How good?
yeah.
Um, Physically, let's talk about where you might want to go. Do you? Okay, we're 6 to 7 kilos down at the moment, around 8 to 10 centimeters off the belly. Have you thought about getting back on a rugby pitch, or it's not double
No,
surgery? No.
no, not with. I didn't think I'd want to go to my surgeon and say, "Hey, I want to test out your new hip you put in, and
Yeah.
can I test it out on the rugby field?" So, no, I'm happy to just keep chipping away and being the best version that I can, and healthy. And yeah, just I haven't got any. Some of the guys have got sort of great goals, the marathons that they want to achieve, and the high rock stuff that they do, and then guys, yeah, want to get back on the footy field or whatever. Yeah, I reckon that's awesome. But
Yeah.
for me, I just haven't got a set goal that I want to try and get to. Only just live life and be the best version I can be.
Dude, you're simplifying it. So the final thing that I was going to pull out was: is there any information additional to this you would like to add here to fully explain why this is important? Yeah. I'm also predicting I'll be bald in my 50s. I would rather be not bald and fat, especially soon as I'm going to the Gold Coast. I was like, dude, this guy is going to be amazing to work with. And I think
Is
like
that what I said?
that's
I
what you
can't
said. You
believe that.
said like I don't want to be just if I'm bald and Kelly Slater style, that's all good. But if I'm bald and overweight, that's not a good combo. So I want to try and get myself into shape.
Yeah, true, true.
Mate, how did it feel getting back under the 100 kegs for the first time?
Yeah, it felt really good. It felt really good. And your biggest test, I started in November. The
Mm.
biggest test of your program for me was the Christmas period.
Yes.
Like without a doubt, Christmas is like you've tried to work your way up. And normally each year it's like, oh, Christmas has come at a bad time. I'm really on a roll here going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then Christmas comes, and look, Christmas wasn't any less of an. I didn't like eat less. I didn't do, but just the different mindset.
Mm.
And come to the other side and had Christmas, and my weight may have even been down 100 grams.
Mm.
It was like I haven't got to reset in January to the gym and get that extra 5 kilos off that I've put over in the silly season. So that
Mm.
was my first tick of this thing really works.
Mm. Mm.
And then yeah,
I love that. People don't have a weight loss problem. People have a sustainability problem. Like if anyone can, let's face it, anyone can lose weight quickly by just simply just like taping their mouth shut and not eating for a week. You won't
yeah,
die. You won't die. Like it's that easy. The reality is we've got to find a way to do that in a modest format that you can keep up for the rest of your life.
yeah,
If you can, in those early weeks, if you can say have some proof of concept. And for me, Tim, the greatest proof of concept that a person can get about this being sustainable is when they are so full on food, but they're losing weight. Like
yeah,
that to me is mind blowing. The amount of clients that come and say, "Oh my God, I'm not doing another diet. I'm starving all the time. This sucks." And I'm
yeah,
temptation. And we move to a more single ingredient, whole food style of eating, still allowing yourself 10 to 20% of that being,
yep,
processed foods and a bit of sugar and some enjoyment. You move to that style of eating, you are just so full. You are so full and
yeah,
losing weight. And people are like, oh my God, they had this realization that I just been doing it wrong. What I've tried
yeah,
to do is eat less. And then on the other side of that mountain is I'm going to eat more because I'm hungry.
yeah. That's where I was going wrong, because
Totally.
I was only telling one of the lads this week, I would have a bit of a blowout of a weekend and then think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at work, taking a handful of carrots and an apple was bringing it back, trying to counteract my weekends.
Feeding a
Just
couple
getting
of
it
horses
so
and a rabbit, mate. I like it. I like
getting it
it,
so wrong. But
mate. So
now,
good.
even the first few weeks, I remember the wife saying, "Oh, you're eating too much. You sure this is how you're supposed to do it? Like, you're going
Yeah,
to put on weight."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a crazy mindset, but once you understand it, you realize that it works, and you just got to get into the process and just enjoy it.
Final question, and without prompt, is there anything you wished I'd asked you, or is there anything that has been I don't know, has been a thing that you've really discovered about either yourself, other people, or a realization that you've had over the last 6 months that you think is kind of some wisdom worth sharing?
Oh, no, I'm a pretty simple dude, so I don't overthink too much. So I wouldn't be able to give someone some wisdom. I think your plan is simple, and you just got to keep things simple as it can be. And
Mhm.
look, the grind of life in itself, getting up, going to, like the old cliche, 9 to 5.
Yep,
It's probably more 7 to 4,
yep,
and then having dinner and going to bed and doing that
yep,
every day.
yep.
That's hard enough, let alone not quite doing things correctly. So once you learn, and it's probably not for everyone, but you've got to have sessions in the gym. You've got to be able to go for walks. And they're not hard things to do. And then you get your nutrition right, and that's not going out on some wandangle buddy diet. It's
Mm,
just understanding food, and it helps you when you go for a takeaway meal or a night out for dinner. It just helps you understand things better, and it just breaks it down simple, and
mm.
you can
Yeah,
all of a sudden you're a better version of yourself for all around you.
a comment from Steve Goldman. I went to school in Inverell and used to watch this man play footy, an absolute beast. There you go. There's a rap from the crowd. Can you publicly, I'm going to wrap up this podcast by saying, dude, you have been amazing. Every now and then, a guy comes through our community that just really lifts the bar. And aside from Terry and Nick, particularly in our men's group, I don't want to start itemizing other people because there's just been so many great men, and you're one of the more recent that have just come through and really gelled our community. For me, this is so invaluable because that energy, have it not been for blokes like you, would be all dependent on me to try to drive. And so the way that you've come into our community, you've asked fantastic questions. One of the things that I think I want to give you a massive rap on is not only your community contribution, but you just always asking questions. Like, you're curious, you have a natural curiosity. And that for me is, I think a lot of people, when we ask on a coaching call, they have a question. Otherwise, they'd have a fucking six pack. And you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how to do this. Maybe it's like, I can't think of the question in the moment, or they're too scared to ask it, or they think this is a dumb question. But you asked me for a call the other day where basically you just pretty much wanted to know, how important is 94 centimeter waist? Like, it's just such a random question, but you're like, I need to know. I need to know. Is this very important?
Yeah, well, you threw it away on a throw-off line one call and said
Yeah.
94 centimeters is the ultimate healthy range for a male, and I went, so that resonated me for about 3 to 4 weeks until I got you on one call to ask you.
Yeah.
I needed you
So,
to explain.
like, guys, learn from a bloke that's just willing to ask the dumb questions. If you've got something, think of it a little bit like, I guess, an onion. If you've got something in the middle and there's layers over the top of it, and it keeps adding layers of complexity, but you just don't understand why this is important. And a classic example would be, like, why is drinking water so important? People can't work out why they can't build the habit of drinking water. But if you ask them, why is drinking water important? They'll say something like, well, because it's healthy. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's, so's eating salads. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what you've done is you've understood why things are important and made an effort to
Yeah.
try to understand them. And once you understand them, it starts to embody in you, and then the habit becomes just a little bit easier to build.
Yep.
Brother, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Guys, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast with another one of our legendary blokes, Mr. Tim McIntyre. Thanks so much for coming on, Tim. And
cheers, mate. Enjoyed it.
Live. Sorry about the delay in the start time. Peace out.